Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy the Kryptonian saying here, bringing you a review for One Piece chapter 849. I gotta say, man, I like this chapter a lot. Like, I did not see that plot twist coming where you had Carrot and she was hiding in the ceiling. I did not see that coming. That was so fucking awesome. That was so awesome. The whole time I'm thinking like, oh shit, Chopper, you wet the bed. I can't believe this shit. Like, I'm preparing myself to just roast Chopper. Don't get me wrong. Like, Chopper's grown a lot, but I was expecting to roast this guy, right? Turns out Chopper had this whole shit planned from the beginning. This is so fucking awesome, man. This is so awesome. So just to back up a little bit, right? Like, cause that's what got me the most. I said the next thing that got me is just seeing what happened with Reiju, cause you know, old girl's bleeding and everything. And like, I'm reading the manga, and I want to get my white cape. I want to get my white cape, and I want to get my cent bucks, and I just want to go save her and spend the cent bucks to where I can get her treated. Cause goddamn, like even though she was injured, she was looking like a straight ass snack right there. Like, god damn, girl. Never thought being injured would look so sexy. But you know, like, I do like, on the real though, I do like how the chapter starts off with people in Sanji's family asking, where's Reiju? And then the chapter ends off with getting the answer of what happened with Reiju. And so what I found interesting though, what I found really interesting about this chapter is you have that moment where I think it was Niji who says, oh, okay, so we get to live with Sanji again. And it's because they're talking about how they need to take Pudding prisoner. That way they have some type of leverage over Big Mom, which I think that if you're going to try and pull some shit like that with Big Mom, you're asking for trouble. Like you are nothing but asking for trouble. Like this is one of the four emperors. Don't get me wrong. Like I think that she's probably the weakest of the four emperors or whatnot. You can call me sexist on that because I'm basing that largely because like out of all the other people that we've seen, they're all fucking monsters and they just happen to be men. So you can call me sexist if you want to. But you know what I will say though is what I like about this moment is how even though they're planning that, all right, like to take Pudding hostage, they even acknowledge the fact that Big Mom might want to have Sanji hostage as well. So it does set something up to where Judge might be in a situation where he and Big Mom have to fight. So it's gonna be interesting to see that. I like how Oda's already building the possibility of there being trouble in paradise between this new alliance. And what's also fascinating about this is how you get that moment where as they're weighing their options, they say, well, what if they take Sanji hostage? They say, look, she should know we don't give a fuck about Sanji, which is crazy. Like, we, as the reader, we've seen Sanji grow so much. We've seen him grow so much, and to see Sanji be downplayed like this, in a way, it makes you irritated. It really makes you irritated because they're not putting some respect on him. Like, I think the only thing that Oda can do right now in order to redeem Sanji's character is Sanji's gonna have to take a few of these brothers out, and potentially he might have to run the gauntlet and defeat his father as well. Like, it's gonna be one of those things where he either defeats his father or he takes out all of his siblings in a fight, because Sanji's being made to look like a straight bitch right now. And like, when you tear a character down like this, you gotta build them up higher than where they were to begin with. So that's going to be interesting to see how this is going. Like if you go back to it wasn't Marineford, if you go back to Annie's lobby, like Nico Robin, we got her backstory, we saw her torn down, and then the way that Oda built her back up is she overcame her fears. She overcame her fear of getting too close with people and losing people that she loved, and she told Luffy that she wanted to live. She overcame all that and put her faith in her crewmates for the first real time, because everything up there, it felt like Nico Robin was just doing things to her own devices, much in the same way that Sanji, if you really pay attention when Sanji's on all these islands, like Sanji was just conveniently kind of dipping around doing his own thing before he just jumped back in the circle. And I think that part of the reason why you got something like that is Sanji's looking around to make sure there's nobody who can identify him. I think that's the other part of the reason for that. And so when you look in hindsight, you can see Oda has been setting this stuff up for a while. So I like how, you know, you get to a part where Chopper automatically turns the tables on Brûlée and everybody else, and Carrot is using the electrical strike in order to put everybody basically on notice, and then Chopper transforms. I thought all that was cool, and I like how after Chopper just assessed the situation, right, you get this whole throwdown fight with Carrot and Chopper. And so what I like about that is, again, it just shows that Chopper's been growing. Like if you go back to Drum Island when Chopper and Luffy first met, you weren't getting stuff like that. Like Chopper was a character, he was, you know, bashful, he was shy. If you would have told me back then that this character would have grown to this level, I probably wouldn't have believed it. So I thought that that was cool. And I like how one of the men says, like, okay, we got to report back to Big Mom. And even though all that's going on, you know, Carrot is still pulling her weight. Like if Carrot joined the crew at this point, I wouldn't mind it. I really wouldn't mind it, because she's turned into a very fun character to read for me. And so the other thing you get in this chapter is, like, you get Sanji and he's worried about Pudding, and he's like, okay, you know, I'm gonna make a big meal for her. And so what I like about Sanji, right, this is almost like a mini character dissection. Sanji cooks for everybody. Like if Sanji sees somebody and they're in need or they're hungry, Sanji will feed them. There's no ifs and buts about it, right? Like it's almost like, you know, just how Zoro has that swordsman's creed, so too do you have something like that with Sanji, where Sanji, anybody who needs food, he's gonna give them food, just like he did Pearl on the borrowed tape. But like the difference here is, like, once again, we see Sanji, for a woman that he cares about, the greatest way he can show affection is by making food for her. And you know, it kind of goes back to that age-old adage, right? Like, you know, they say men and women show affection in different ways. And they say one way that a man shows a woman how much he cares for her is by doing things for her. And for Sanji, that's one of the things he can do for Pudding. So, you know, I'm almost buying, keyword almost, I'm almost buying that Sanji is falling for Pudding. I think it's one of those things where he realizes he's going to be essentially tied to Big Mom for the rest of his life. And so Pudding is the person that he's going to have to settle for, and he might as well make the most of it. And, you know, Sanji's a man of honor. He's a fucking pervert, but he's a man of honor. He's not going to do anything to essentially endanger her in any way, even if it means she's had a stressful day. He's not going to let her get in a position where mentally she gets pushed to do something out of character. So one way for her to recover from a stressful day or an event is for Sanji to give her food. So I thought that that was pretty interesting. And what I also like is how after Brook is out there raising hell, Big Mom takes a look at this dude and she says, "What kind of creature are you?" And what's so fucking funny about that, Brook ain't never seen a pair of panties that he didn't want to look at. He took one look at Big Mom. He said, hold up. I don't want to see none of this bitch dusty draws. My man ran from the pussy. My man ran from the pussy, man. He didn't want nothing to do with this shit, man. But I also like the ending, too. I like the ending how, you know, Pedro, after he's facing off with everybody, you know, Pedro gets that moment where he looks at Baron and he says, like, hey, you know, we got a score to settle. And Baron points out the fact that Big Mom stole 50 years of his life, and apparently Pedro doesn't have much longer to live. So I got new appreciation for this character right here. I thought that that was pretty cool. And he even says at the end, he says, like, look, that's right, I'm under no illusions. I don't intend to return here alive. So I like that moment right there. You know, you're getting a real sense of, you know, escalation and stakes in this chapter. I mean, this is one of the better chapters of this arc. But, you know, for me, my chapter question for you guys is, when it comes to showing love and affection, right? When it comes to showing love and affection, you know, how do you show somebody that you care for them? What do you do to let them know that you care? Are you someone that has to tell them, or are you somebody like Sanji that has to essentially tell people by doing things for them? But, as always, guys, if you like anything I have to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.